Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another retro toy review with yours truly, the Cheesy Toy Reviewer. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or whenever it is you chose to click on this video and watch it. Hope you're staying corona free and hope you're living life to the fullest and being as safe as possible. This is the really second part to the first video I did. Where, if you watched it, you would know. My buddy of mine had a big, and I mean massive, box full of toys. But they were all grimed up, roached out, so on and so forth. But I saw a lot of promise in them, and I did my best to restore them and clean them as best as I possibly could. And I'm trying to find them a good home, which they're up on they will be up on eBay shortly. The last batch, all of them went out, and I wish them the best of luck. Whoever is trying to restore them, trying to make them nice looking again, better than I could, and give them that TLC they deserved. But here we are, part two. And we got a lot of fun little things to show here for those who are into this sort of thing. And I gotta say, one of them I'm really excited about, and I will be doing some restoration work on it in the near future. I'll probably be doing a video on that. And also keep in mind, I will be doing future toy reviews with modern current toys. So you're not, just so you know, you're not going to see just nothing but old toys here. But I love working on old toys, and I think they're a lot of fun. And I look forward to bringing more to you in the near future. In the near future, I'll also be working on trying to get a Patreon up, whatever that is. I don't even have a site up. But it seems like that's what everybody's doing, and it's a good way to get the word out there, maybe get a little support, so on and so forth. But for now, if you like what you see, and please, I implore you to watch the whole video before you do so. Don't be afraid to hit that like and subscribe. I would be greatly appreciative of it. And without further ado, let's move on. Let's move to what you came here for in the first place. So, a little fun fact, I had this little toy as a kid. Not an expensive toy. I believe it $340. Debuted at stores. And I don't recall it coming with a character. A lot of G.I Joe vehicles came with characters, but I don't recall this one coming with a character. This is a fun little vehicle, and didn't float worth a damn. Did not float worth a damn, even though it was advertised as a boat. And still, it was neat. It was a neat little toy. And that is the G.I Joe, the Devilfish. Look at that. Now keep in mind, when I first found this guy, he was filthy. Missing just about all his parts. And just a hot mess. Just a hot mess. The gun was missing here. This little piece right here. These little pieces, the engine covers, were missing. And finding missiles for this little priceless gem was a pain in the ass. I had a big bag full of things here, and basically I was playing connect the dots. I did a thorough scrubbing and cleaning, and if you see, the plastic looks nice and clean. Now I need to show you this. That I have no control over. That's melted plastic right there. Can't do anything about that. And if there's someone who can, well, bless your heart, and that's pretty awesome, but I do not possess that ability. However, I was able to maintain the integrity of this character. If you see, the little Devilfish sticker right there, looking proud and proper, along with the G.I. Joe. I got 3 of the 4 missiles here, right here. 3 of the 4 missiles. The gun, of course. A lot of the stickers, the kid who put these on, he did a pretty decent job with this one. Of course, some are a little misplaced, but in general, he did not do a bad job. And if I could go look here, you can look at the engine covers. G.I. Joe stickers are proud. Right there, just pop it out. They pop out nicely. And this moves nice and freely. See? Okay. The wires, nice and tight. And look at this. Let's see, here we go. Let's see here. See? Engines. Nice and clean. I had to go in there with a toothbrush and wet cloth. Give these guys good scrubbing. And when I tell you this thing was like, dusty, this thing was dusty as HE double hockey sticks, it was. And I did a really, at least the best I could do, job getting this guy into proper condition, which it deserves. And because it's a beautiful, beautiful toy from the 80s. The Devilfish ran from 86 to 87, and then was discontinued. I don't know if it was offered as a mail-in, like a lot of figures are from G.I. Joe, but I know this guy only ran a couple years. So I'm going to pop these engines back on. Right here, like that. Give you a quick tour again, quick little circle about, if you will. I was really happy with this. When I first, these did not move like this. I actually had to take these apart and do some cleaning to get this moving like this, like a motorboat, jet boat should. And as you can see, let's see, 86, Hasbro Bradley Incorporated. So that gives you a time reference of when this Devilfish was out and about, and it assures you, if not anything else, that this wasn't a reissue, knockoff, so on and so forth. But I don't think this vehicle is ever that popular enough to where it would issue a knockoff. But still, I had a lot of fun with this. Used to play with this one in the tub, and I was a fan of Cobra, so usually there'd be a Joe in there, and usually it would die a tragic death. Go Cobra. The G.I. Joe Devilfish now will make its way back over here. I kind of gave away the next vehicle here, and this was like one of my favorites. Even though it was a G.I. Joe vehicle, I always preferred the Cobra vehicles because I thought they were more imaginative, cooler looking, so on and so forth. But this certainly was one of my more favorite G.I. Joe vehicles. And this was the Vamp Mark II, which ran from 84 to 85. And I had to look this up. I'm not going to pretend that I knew this. It came with a driver named Clutch. And it was discontinued in 87. And it was re-offered in 88 without the driver Clutch. But without further ado, let's get in its proud glory as much as I can be. The G.I. Joe Vamp Mark II. And yes, there was a first one. Oh, and then you see the door just came off there, right there. Door came off. It's easy enough to put back on. See? It's like a puzzle piece. Just kind of, hold on. It's like a puzzle piece, just kind of pop them back on. And you'll find this with most G.I. Joe vehicles, that even if they're not, they might not necessarily be broken as compared to, oh, come on, now you're going to make me look foolish here. Son of a biscuit. See, I could edit this out, but then what fun would that be? I had this thing in, and it was loose. It was loose. I kind of had to wiggle this and maneuver it on it, because if you notice, right there, that little piece. See? It's missing. So it doesn't clasp on properly. Well, trust me. I did have it on. So there we go. Look at that. See? First, succeed. First, you don't succeed. Try again. And there we go. Here we have the Vamp Mark II. And it's kind of cool looking. Nice utility vehicle. It's got a little rust in the wheel, as you can hear. We can't avoid some of that stuff. Missile launchers, impropped, in place. Ooh, ready to fire, all four ready to go. As you see, I only have one of the doors, and that's not necessarily complete because it's got that missing piece. It's missing this other door here, and there was a piece that went on top here, which it is missing. But if you look, there are a lot of positives here. The stickers still hung on and kept their integrity. See right there? And I did a nice job getting it nice and cleaned up. And it looks good. Looks good. Let me turn around here again. As you see, the stickers are in place. Old Glory here. America! Looking good. And even better with the 4 missile launchers thing there. Very nice little toy. This was one of my more appealing Joe vehicles per se because it looked really cool. And the little tail lights there. Those managed to stay on. And keep in mind, this sucker took a bath in soapy dishwater and peroxide. Because this thing, much like most of everything I am reviewing in this video and in my last video, was gunked up pretty badly. I'm sorry for the poor wonky camera work. I'm getting better. I'm just trying to practice here. Let's take a look at the underbelly, if you will. If you see there. I'm assuming if you look at the top left-hand side, you'll see some rust there. I'm assuming that's where the vehicle squeak is coming from. See right there. See? Right there. See the rust? But as you also see, this has the stamp, the Hasbro Industries Incorporated 1984. And it ran to 85, and it stopped then. But it became later on as a mail-in exclusive. But without the driver, which I believe the driver's name was Clutch. And I would have to imagine finding the vehicle, the figures for the vehicles are probably harder than finding the vehicles themselves. Probably because, they stopped making them. You're going to see a ton of Scarlets and Dukes and Cobra Commanders and so on and so forth. But the exclusive figures that came with these old vehicles, I'd have to imagine they did stop making those. And that's probably why they only made them available through mail-in, and that was without the figure themselves. But again, just to give a quick spin around for all the glory that she's worth. The Vamp Mark II. Beautiful looking toy. Rusty and all. I may just throw a little WD-40 on there just to get that squeak out. But look, see, woo! Oh, and the door fell off, as you see. As you can see, that missing little piece there. Certainly, if I had it, I would try to glue it back on, but I don't. I couldn't find the little missing piece for that. So the Vamp Mark II gonna roll off into the sunset here. Let's clean this off a little bit. If you don't mind, I'm gonna take a little sip of my beverage. I'm currently sipping on a bit. Well, I guess we'll call this an adult beverage because I'm an adult and I'm allowed to do so. All right, now the next vehicle. Okay, just a little backstory here. When I brought a lot. A lot of the vehicles were kind of, the bodies were there, the shells were there. But this vehicle had none of that. I literally pulled and put this vehicle together through a bag of parts. And it was one of my favorite G.I. Joe tanks when it came out. It was really cool, and it certainly is one of the more recognizable and well-acknowledged G.I. Joe vehicles. And that would be next here, the G.I. Joe Wolverine. Wolverine! That's from a movie. But here we go. The Wolverine, here we go. Look at that. Look at that. Lots of missiles. I'm a tank. Now this bad boy, I can't say it was roached out because I pulled it from parts. I did have to clean the parts, but as I said, it was nothing. There was nothing there. I put this together basically through memory, and I was able to complete, I would have to say, at least 90% of it. 90% of it. As you see here, it has just about all the missiles except one. Look at that. I didn't clean one of those missiles. Shame on me. But as you can see, the body looks clean. The stickers look clean. And that's very important, especially for people who want to try to restore these sorts of things. So this guy right there, let's see. It took me forever to find this piece. Little hatch cover. It says right there. Hatch. And I felt that was important to find that. And I did. And I was happy that I did. Because it made it feel more whole without it. However, it is not flawless, as you can see. It's missing its towing cable, which would be right here. Towing cable's gone. And that's a big deal to some people, and I would understand that. But considering what I started with, I think I did a really nice job getting this thing in good condition and having it ready to go to a good home. As you can see, swivels nicely. Let's see. See? Okay, let me do this instead. See? Swivels. Nice. It's got a seat for its driver. Which, by the way, a lot of people make the mistake of thinking that the Wolverine came with Scarlet. And it did not. The initial driver that came with this character was another female character, which if I had to guess and you wanted to look for it in mint condition, probably cost you a pretty penny, was a character called Cover Girl. And it kind of looked like Scarlet, so I could see why people would make the mistake of getting the two confused. Needless to say, I don't have the driver. But if you do, and you're looking for a good piece, I mean, certainly, I can honestly say this tank here is it's in nice shape. It's a nice shape. It looks good. And with just a couple minor pieces, you're going to have yourself a full piece. Now you're going to see that little green dunk in there. That's just me missing a spot. I tried to do better than that, but I missed that spot. And if we flip this bad boy over, of course the wheels look a little worn because this obviously was played with condition. This came out in 1983, which makes it one of the original Wolverines. It ran from 83 to 84 and later became a mail-in option in 85 through 87. That is, of course, without the driver, because I'm assuming it's a lot easier and cheaper to mass produce the vehicle as compared to the, discontinuing figures. I don't know, maybe not, whatever the case may be. But if you look on the other side here, it's looking pretty solid here, nice and clean. And again, very proud of putting this guy together here. Hang on 1 second. I apologize in advance, so I try to keep it on this figure here. And give it a little side view angle here. Okay. He may have got a shot in my floor, and that's okay. It is what it is. I'm filming this myself. I'm new to all this. You got to bear with me. I'm trying to do the best I can, so I'm sure as I progress, things will get better, and I hope you take that journey with me in doing so. But last but not least, here is the G.I Joe Wolverine. Beautiful, beautiful tank. It'll be going up on eBay, and hopefully I get it a good home for someone who can put on the final restoration touching pieces and give it the full glory it deserves. So, this piece I'm really excited about. Now, when I got this box, I just didn't get G.I. Joes. I also got Transformers. And I only got a few of them, but the few that I did get were pretty recognizable. And this guy needs no introduction. And if you don't know who he is, well, then you just weren't a kid growing up in the 80s and got to appreciate him. But here we go. He had squeaking wheels because, yes, there's some rust here. What? An Optimus Prime G1. What? Roll out. And as you can see, he is looking glorious. Sorry for some of the exterior shots there. But this Optimus Prime is just looking nice. Now, keep in mind, he's obviously in U shape. But, for the most part, let me take those out of the way. Let's put these in here. When I got him, he came with a lot of his stuff. He came with his gun and the fuel thing that you put on a little robot car. As you see, got the nice little rub-on sticker there. He obviously needs a little chrome work, and if you look at the top here, he needs a bit of a paint touch-up. Which, this is one of the pieces I will be trying to restore. So, I do have some work cut out ahead for me, but there is some promise here, and I'll show you why. So we're going to unhook the trailer. I'm going to start off with the trailer here. Hold on a second here. As you see, the stickers are looking good. Now, I know I haven't pushed these latches in the back, which would make it look more even out, but I want to show you this. Where is it? This is one of the original G1 Optimus Primes. Here we go. 1980, 1982. And this little guy, for those that know the difference, see here, this little guy pops up. He pops up. The joints are nice and tight on these. They're not broken or anything at all. Hold on, let me get this up here. Sorry. Just to give you an idea, he is in full glory. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. And it's got the orange shield. There's the clear variant. I always prefer the orange, so I thought it was cooler. It's got the little missiles intact right there. Look at that. Look at that right there. Got a little radar piece and this little claw. And if you look down here, the inside of the trailer is pretty clean. I'm missing the vehicle, obviously. Which, if I'm not mistaken, this guy goes to the fuel pump. And missing the trailer part right here. which I will be in the process of trying to get. Also, if you look here, right there, see that's rusted. And this was pushed back in order to try to make the trailer complete. I'm probably going to have to try to replace that at some point. But if you look, sticker work is nice on this character. Considering this sat in a garage for decades. Pretty happy with the overall appearance of the trailer. What is back in here? So I can close it up again. It goes down here like that. So I'm going to close the trailer back up. Again, take some side shots of the trailer here. If you look, the sticker work on this is still nice. Overall, because a lot of times you'll see these trailers. This, it looks like crap. It just does. And you also, a lot of times you'll see with the missing trailer hitches right there, you'll see it's missing these little pieces which connect the trailer. So I can flip back up. Here, however, and you might not be able to see, yeah, you could probably see here. Sticker looks okay overall. No complaints about that. This, however, it's actually cracked. Like, legitimately cracked. And that is something, I don't know what I'm going to do for that. I may have to just eventually get another trailer overall and just, flip-flop it out. And if you look here, this piece, which is broken, unfortunately. This is a little tab right there. You push that down. I mean, you can still push it down, but it's broken. And if you look at the inside here, let's see if I can get this here. A lot of because Optimus Prime has been redone many times. And you'll see that's trailer 4, T4, or some, they say trailer 4. But all in all, it's not a bad looking piece. These come out. Let's see. Like that. Okay. A little tight. I mean, it's the pieces are tight. And the songs, I try to be careful with it. I don't play around with this too much. Because, you don't want to snap things and break things. But if you look, the screws are not roached out. They're not rusted, which is nice. And I just to emphasize again here, if you look here, the rod that holds that piece of the trailer there together is certainly rusted out. And that's got to get replaced. The wheels, however, roll nice and smooth. I mean, for a toy that's been sitting around in a garage for as long as it did, no, really, what else can you ask for? But let's get to the meat and potatoes here, and that's Optimus Prime himself. Now, if you look at this guy, obviously, he needs some paint work. But for a toy as old as it is, and the elements it battled, I did a little wipe down on him. I didn't do too much cleaning on him because he is metal, and I didn't want to screw around with it. He will be a little focal point for a restoration episode. There's some things that I want to fix on him. Obviously, I want to try to get that paint done. And as you see, it's missing some paint areas right there at the top. And the chrome up front. The good thing is this right here. This is complete, and it wasn't damaged. The chrome, however, is worn. And if you look at the back here, I don't think I could do anything about that other than replacing his arm entirely. I don't necessarily feel comfortable doing that, so I'm probably not going to do that. I can live with that. However, if you look at the tailpipes, so the tailpipes are complete too, and a lot of times you'll find on the Optimus Primes. The tailpipes are broken, but they are, um, you know, missing a lot of the chrome. Right there. Right there. Yeah, right there. Right there. Missing a lot of the chrome. Overall, see, rolls nicely. Wheels are tight. Joint. So, and what I was more impressed with was the actual condition of the figure himself. If you'll see, when I try to transform him, look at that. No wobbly legs. Goes back nice and clean. See, like that. So they're tight enough. And of course you have his legs here, which for the most part the paint is intact. It's like a little small touch-up areas I could do, and that could be easily resolved with some touch-up paint. If it was like too bad, you'd actually have to strip the paint and kind of do a whole new paint job. But for the most part, it's not too bad. Stickers are easy enough to get off. Some lighter fluid. I get those taken off fairly easy. Also, some problematic areas here. You'll see the chrome on the legs here, and then over here, it's missing some chrome. And if you flip around backwards, you'll see there's some issues with the chrome there. But the blue paint itself is in nice shape, and you can't go wrong with that. And then if I was talented enough to do it, I would just completely swap his arms. Because if you see, it's hard to see. Maybe you'll see it, maybe you won't. There's some rusting on the inside there with the spring. However, though, he does transform. And let's see if we can get him here. Let's see if we can get Optimus Prime in his glory. So he's fairly easy. And keep in mind, I'm using one hand here because I'm using my camera. I'm holding my phone here doing this. So please bear with me. That pops out. And you gotta be a little careful doing this. Especially with these old figures. Especially with these old figures like this. No! Optimus Prime down. Okay, hold on here. Oh, hold on. Let's see. Alright, so let's see if I get this going here. Oh, well. Let's see if I can do this here. I'm gonna do a little cheating here. If you will. Alright, I'm just gonna have to do this off camera here. Okay, here it does. You may have gotten more than that shot than you bargained for. Okay. So as you see, he does transform. He does transform. He is missing his fists. Also, sticker's a little wonky there. See, a little wonky sticker there. His arms do come down like that. So they do come down. His head does move like that. Pop in and out. Blah blah blah. So basically, he does what he needs to do. Of course, this comes down like that. And I believe that's where these are two little guys right here. That's where you got to go to really. This is what takes him off. His upper torso. He's missing his fist though, which you would put his mighty gun on. And I think he does have potential for restoration. If you look at his head, however, I think that'll be the most difficult part for me. It's right there. See, you got some areas there that need to be worked on. I would have to really find the perfect color matchups, get that going, and make that right. I mean, I'm probably going to just strip all the stickers off completely. at this point. I just don't think, I think it'd be better off without the stickers. And if I took all the stickers off, someone can take it and put on a whole new, as a fresh set of stickers, and put them on correctly and give this character the glory it deserves. But yeah, there's Optimus Prime G1 in full glory. Now this is post rub sticker, which means, for those that don't know, that came out in order to battle counterfeits. And what you would do is you would just stick a little finger on there, and like a lot of kids, there'd be have moisture on it and so on and so forth. You pop it out. Let's see if I can get it there. Let's see if I can do it here. There you go. You kind of see it. You saw it there for a second. You get the Autobot symbol. And that would let parents know that they're getting a legit Transformer and not some knockoff. Because when these guys came out, man, they were huge. A lot of knockoffs came out. Just to give you a little background, these originally came out in '83 under the brand name of Diaclone. Tommy Takara, of course, he created the majority of the models that are popular. And when he originally came out, he launched as a Battle Convoy, if I'm not mistaken. Battle Convoy. And in '84, he was renamed Optimus, but he's a beautiful piece. And I am a fan of Decepticons, but he is one of the few Autobots that I, hold near and dear to my heart as a kid. This is one of the first ones I got. My grandfather got it for me, and it was just pretty cool. And as you see, I'm gonna put it back here. His trailer's right here. Optimus Prime. He's ready for future action. He's ready to battle some Decepticons again. It's just a matter of time. And like I said, I will be probably doing a video on trying to restore him, and I hope I don't disappoint. But definitely a cool figure. And last, but not least, we are going to get to probably was one of the biggest pain in the rear ends out of everything I did. And it's this guy, and he's big, so I'm gonna have to back up a little bit here. Sorry if it comes out of focus right away, but here we go. The G.I Joe Killer Whale. Well, let me get his accessories. A lot of little knickknacks that I couldn't figure out how to put back on. Right there. The G.I Joe Killer Whale. And I looked this up specifically for the video. The Killer Whale the whale part stands for Warrior Hovering Assault. What is it right here? Launching Envoy. Ran from '84 to '85, and he came with a pilot named a Cutter, and